I have come to a secret location in South Africa to meet an animal affectionately described as the king of the jungle, a mighty lion. His name is Simba, and I'm setting eyes on him for the first time since I, along with my undercover team, saved him from certain death. Simba, who was bred in captivity and sold as a trophy, was due to be shot and killed in what is called a canned hunt, one that takes place in a fenced enclosure. The chosen target has little or no chance of escaping death. In reality, the man or woman pulling the trigger requires no hunting skills and an equal amount of courage. Even before I was able to rescue him, Simba had been shot twice by a city worker firing tranquilizer darts in an illegal green hunt. The Briton had paid thousands of pounds for the pleasure, one that my undercover team filmed to show him and his accomplices laughing as Simba staggered around after being shot and drugged. Today, however, is a happy occasion. After nearly 6 months in temporary lodgings, Simba has finally been relocated to a new, spacious and permanent home. All being well, he'll live out the rest of his days in peace and safety. I have made a substantial donation to an animal charity to ensure that he'll be well cared for, but the location where he now lives must remain confidential. Simba is believed to be about 11 years old, one of an estimated 12,000 captive bred lions in South Africa, part of a cruel, abusive and poorly regulated industry. Incredibly, there are now nearly 4 times as many captive bred lions in the country as there are wild lions. Unsurprisingly, perhaps, Simba was described as traumatized after his ordeal. He was mentally as well as physically scarred from his abuse. Yet after a month at this new home, he has made great progress and is learning to trust those looking after him. Simba could live for another 10 years, possibly longer, and hopefully time will prove to be a great healer. The future for almost all captive bred lions in South Africa is a grim one, either sold to be slaughtered for their bones, mainly for the Far East market, or sold as hunting trophies, often to the US and European markets. A large male with an impressive mane can command more than £40,000, and once shot, usually in the charade of a hunt, his stuffed head will often be mounted on a trophy hunter's wall.
Because I find it very difficult to understand humans who get involved in that industry. I find it hard to pick apart the psychology, the sense that people have that somehow treating animals in that way can be right. I and clearly my organisation Born Free has a number of challenges to not just canned hunting but trophy hunting in general. South Africa needs to be honest about it, and that starts with government. And so if that's a kind of a, I suppose you could say, a philosophical position. It just needs to be honest with its people. But clearly there's a problem with legislation, and there's a problem with enforcement of legislation, because when you work against the trophy or the canned hunting industry in particular, you find yourself coming up against some particularly unpleasant and brutal people. And we have experienced a level of lawlessness which you would not expect in a developed nation. And that, because people need to behave like that, it seems, to defend and protect their quiet industry, that would reveal, I think, the fact that the government of South Africa has got a problem on its hands, which starts with being honest, starts with revealing the truth, and then dealing with enforcing proper law.
Since making the findings of my year-long undercover investigation public in April, both in the Mail on Sunday newspaper and in a short film, I have campaigned to end the horrific practice of lion farming. The cash-based industry puts the money that hunters pay into the hands of a small number of people who rear the captive bred lions and who organize the canned hunts. This means the economic benefits to the state and wider society are negligible. The South African authorities have declined my invitation to meet with them, but I have successfully lobbied the British government for the UK to end its complicity with this barbaric industry. I was delighted that in the recent Queen's speech, the government announced its intention to ban the importation of hunting trophies into the UK. There's an old African proverb that is more apt today than it has ever been. It says, "Until the lion tells the story, the tale of the hunt will always glorify the hunter." I have never understood why anyone would kill such a majestic animal for fun. Lion farming shames South Africa.